So subtraction, it's also called a difference. Like the answer to a subtraction problem is a difference. So sometimes we'll say, what is the difference between a couple numbers? Generally, when we say that, difference indicates subtraction, right? So you take the big number, you subtract the small number, and then you'd know the difference between the two. It's also considered a distance between values as well. You find distance by subtracting values. And we use the subtraction symbols, just a horizontal line like this, in order to indicate subtraction, right? So if I wanted to write 5 minus, and yeah, that's another word for subtraction is minus. 5 subtract 4, then you'd say, or instead of saying it or writing the words, you'd say 5 and then use the subtract symbol and then write the number 4. So again, it's nice because these numeric and mathematical representations allow us to write, instead of the words, just the symbolic representation of it. So subtraction is the same as removing, taking away, losing, or spending. I like to think about things in terms of money. So generally when I think about subtraction, I do think about it like spending, right? Like that last example when you said 5 minus 4, it'd be like 5, you spend $4, how much money do you have left over, all right? And yeah, we can use our fingers for some of the smaller amounts, but we'll see some problems where it may be a little bit non-economical to use our fingers for subtraction. So here, this first example, of course, would be nice to use fingers. Now, I said it's kind of not very efficient to use your fingers with bigger numbers, but we'll show a method that you can use fingers still, even with big numbers like this 67 minus 4, okay? So this first one, if I was using fingers, I'd say I'm going to start with 5. That's how much I'm going to start with on my hand, right? I'd say I'm going to start with 5 fingers up. So I got my thumb and then my 4 other fingers like this. And then this says I'm going to take away 1, right? Subtract 1. So that means that I'm going to take one of those fingers and I'm going to put it down. Boom. Now how many fingers do I have up? I got 4 fingers up, okay? So the answer to this is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. Now I put down the pinky finger on that one. You may have said, well, I put down my thumb. It doesn't matter. You still got 4 fingers up, right? So this is how you would do it with fingers, and you can use finger counting even when they're bigger numbers like this, right? Like 67 minus 4. Some people would say we're going to use dots instead of fingers, right? Or coins even. Now, the problem with doing that is you'd have to have 67 coins, and that's more coins than I want to draw on here. So that's where I'm going to stop right there. Okay, none of that garbage. So we can still use place values to make this subtraction, okay? And I guess just as an introduction, I may be getting a little ahead of myself here, but I'd say, look, we got in the ones place, we got a 7 on this number. And then over here, I got a 4 in the ones place value, just with the number 4, right? So I'm essentially ignoring the 6 in the tens place value, knowing that I don't have enough tens. I'm not taking anything away from the tens, so I know I'm going to get 60. I just need to fill in the ones place value there with the 6 from the 60, right? So I'd say, okay, I got a 7 minus 4. So I'd say I got 7 fingers up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 more fingers. And then this minus 4, so I'm going to take away 4 fingers. So I'd take this one, this one, this one, and this one, right? Now you got 3 fingers up. So that's in the ones. That's just in the ones place value, though. So the final answer there, even though the 3 is in the ones place value, again, we had the 6 from the tens place value that stays in the tens place value because it wasn't affected. Now, that may be more explanation than you need, of course, with subtraction. But I do hope that it helps some of you understand exactly what's going on, right? Take away, maybe you spent the money, or another thing I like to think about is eating, right? I like to eat a lot, probably more than I should. So it'd be like, hey, you have 67 pieces of bacon, you ate 4 pieces, how many pieces of bacon you got? I can do that math pretty quick because we're talking about bacon. It's good if you can find the thing that really helps you think about this kind of stuff concretely, right? And because I am thinking about this in concrete terms, whether it's money or fingers or bacon, find the thing that really works in your brain that's like, oh, I know I can make that calculation quick because it's something that I'm either familiar with or something that I really like.